Good evening to everyone on this beautiful day, the 24th of February. Yes, Amazon has taken over James Bond. The broccoli has let go. And the SAG Awards were given out. Timothée Chalamet has taken home another win. Is Adrien Brody not getting the award for The Brutalist? Yes, there's so much news to talk about this week. As always, Kevin, a beautiful producer Kevin, has assembled all of the news items for this week. As you can see, he's a fan of Moon, Blade Runner, 12 Angry Men, and Election. I didn't know he had Election in here, but that's just getting me... We reviewed this a year ago, and I still have not published it. I think that is just in there to call me out. There's also at top link here, and it should be the first thing in the description too of this live stream, a link to join a prediction contest. We'll fill that out actually. Let's see, you can fill it out here. We'll get to that in a second. We'll fill this out together. But this week we're doing it a bit differently. Instead of reading you all of the headlines, we'll just vibe, man. We're vibing this week. Alright, no, none of this. I know it's layered the music now. None of the, like, you know, hectic shit. We are just gonna look at some news items. There's a bunch of ones that will get my heart rate up, so no need to, like, you know, add to that in any sort of way. But without further ado, let's have a look at some of the new stuff. And first up, a couple of awards were given out, so let's head on over to that. All right, first up, the SAG Awards were given out. Conclave takes Ensemble Prize, and even more. Okay, I don't know what that means. Chalamet. Oh wait, Julianne Moore, Chalamet, Saldana, and Culkin get acting nods. Only Murder Shogun casts win, and we got the full list linked below here. I guess the Timothée Chalamet win is... Where's the list? I gotta scroll so far, and so many ads. I think the biggest surprise here, or maybe it's not even a surprise, it's just that Conclave ends up getting outstanding performance by a cast, an ensemble cast, and it just means it's a bit more likely that it actually could sneak up and take home the Best Picture prize. Demi Moore wins over Mikey Madison in The Substance. Timothée Chalamet over Adrien Brody. Only Murders in the Building gets Ensemble, and the same goes for a drama series for Shogun. And I think Zoe Saldana is pretty locked in to take home that Best Supporting Actress prize, and the same goes, of course, for where is he, Kieran Culkin. I would be very surprised if anyone else wins it. Obviously, a bit of a Shogun sweep. I think definitely Hiroyuki Sanada and Asawai, great in their respective series, and even Colin Farrell winning here is great. And that's pretty much it. This act doesn't have that many awards. Next up, Timothée Chalamet lays his cards on the table following a Complete Unknown SAG Award win. I want to be one of the greats. And we'll see if he actually gets to have a big speech over at the awards. But could very much be. Jane Fonda calls on Hollywood to fight during this difficult time as she accepts SAG career honor. Okay, this is an 8-minute long thing. We won't be looking at that, but if you're interested, there's the article. Maria wins the top film prize at American Society of Cinematographers, so that's interesting because it clearly is now the frontrunner for the Oscars as well, being that they also vote on this. Obviously they were the ones that got it ultimately nominated, but Maria is also nominated for its cinematography there, so could very much be. Cool that the Spotlight Award went to Nickel Boys, And then we got the Spirit Awards. Anora takes Best Picture, Director, and Lead Performance. 3 wins for Baby Reindeer and 2 each for Real Pain and Didi. Okay, that's amazing. Let's have a look at the list here. I know that September 5 ended up winning for editing. So lead goes to Mikey Madison, feature as well. Okay. Richard Gadd, okay, Baby Reindeer, director. So those are 3 big awards, but it's the Indie Spirits. I don't know how much they have a say. International film going to Flow. All right. Supporting, of course, Kieran Culkin. And then here, Hans-Jörg Weisbrich wins for September 5. He's also the editor for Heldin or Late Shift, which is premiering in Switzerland this week. And I got to speak to the director, Petra Volpe, earlier today. And probably on Wednesday, we'll have an English interview with her up on the channel. It's the Switzerland's best Oscar chance, I think, in a while. It's a really good movie. First screenplay, Sean Wang. Diddy, that's great. Cinematography, Nico Boy is amazing. I don't know this. Shogun, screenplay to A Real Pain. It's picking up a bunch of those. Best first feature also to Diddy. Bunch more for Baby Reindeer. Best documentary, No Other Land. Breakout performance, Maisie Stella also has been getting a bunch of those nominations. Here she picks up a win. And his 3 daughters. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. Oh, this is cool. Someone to watch award, Sarah Friedland. Familiar Touch. We got to review this coming out of Venice, Kevin and I, and we both really enjoyed it. So that might be worth putting onto your radar. Okay, we do have a couple more because we do have the Berlin Film Festival award winners. Dreams, which is part of the Sex and Love trilogy, which we both reviewed very favorably. We gave Love, I think I gave Love a 4.5 and Sex a 4. And I haven't seen Dreams yet, but all of these 3 have distribution for me here locally in Switzerland. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Andrew Scott and Rose Byrne take home the acting honors. So let's have a look. Yes. All right. This wins the Golden Bear. The jury prize wins to The Message. And the Grand Jury prize to A Blue Trail. Again, I haven't seen any of those, but we'll have a recap later in the week where we'll go over pretty much all of these, even Blue Moon, which I, of course, have not seen. And yeah, if I had Lex, I'd Kick You. I think that also played at Sundance. The Ice Tower, Best Director, Living... just all of these, I guess, now go onto your watch list. I think that's what these festivals are good for. If you obviously can attend, then be on the lookout for those. Then Oscar presenters, I don't care for this too much. Selena Gomez, Oprah Winfrey, Ben Stiller, among more stars to be on here. I mean, this is the list. I don't care, so we'll move on. And then Angela Bassett on feeling disappointed at losing Oscar to Jamie Lee Curtis. I thought I was deserving. Yeah, no, I think that Oscar, I don't want to speak on that too much because maybe it's controversial. I don't think her role in Black Panther was like that outstanding to win an Oscar for it. Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't a great pick either. I know who else was nominated, obviously. What's her name from Everything Everywhere All at Once, also in supporting. She would have been great, but yeah, I don't know. This was a bit weird to me, to be honest. All right. Then we do have a couple of more things when it comes to castings. A lot of that stuff, again, I haven't had a look at, so we are basically seeing it at the same time, you know. This is kind of exciting. We're sharing this moment. All right, let's have a look. All right, first up, Janelle Monáe is set to star and produce a feature take off Tanya Smith's memoir, Never Saw Me Coming, for Universal. Okay, what's it about? The dance apocalyptic multi-hyphenate will produce... Okay, that's just describing Janelle Monáe. Her through Wonderwall Pictures. Okay. A precocious... I don't know that word. Wait, say it to me. Can I? No, never mind. Genius turned mastermind is of a 40 million heist. Never Saw Me Coming was Amazon's editor picks for Barnes & Noble Best Fiction of 2024. And okay, the thing is with these deadline articles, like dude, no one can read this shit. Maybe I'm just stupid, but they write in a really odd way. All right, Janelle Monáe making a movie. Will Smith teases Hancock 2 and reveals Zendaya is being approached for a role. And he revealed this on XQC stream, which is interesting. And there was also, I think, talks of I Am Legend 2. I don't see it here though, but they were talking about that as well. Jack O'Connell joins Legendary's next Monsterverse movie. They're still making those, okay? Well, I guess just Godzilla Kong is what they're doing there. All right, okay. I don't know what the next one is going to be called, but it's made some money, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, I guess it's just casting. Then Daniel Craig is out of Luca Guadagnino's Sergeant Rock, which he is making for DC Studios. And I think who else was approached? I think someone else was already kind of approached to step in for the role, but I don't know if they said on who actually picks it up for him. But next up, I guess, for Guadagnino is the Amazon thriller After the Hunt, with Julia Roberts, Io Edevery, and Andrew Garfield, which already has a release date for October 10th. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see who replaces Daniel Craig in Sergeant Rock. Then Mahershala Ali is set to star in Bassam Tariq's Your Mother, Your Mother, Your Mother for Amazon MGM Studios and Horizon Pictures. All right, tell me about the plot details for the film are kept under wraps. All right, so we don't know anything about it, but Tariq was tapped to direct Marvel Studios' long-anticipated Blade reboot with Ali set to star, but that kind of fell through, and I guess they're moving forward to work together on something else. Okay, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II joins Mark Wahlberg in Elegance Bratton's crime thriller By Any Means. Yes, we talked about this last week as well, or I think the week before. Initially Sterling K. Brown was tapped to produce, but he had to go out because of scheduling conflicts. All right, then Michelle Williams and Daisy Edgar Jones are set to star in Chloe Demond's next film, A Place in Hell, from MRC and T Street. All right, this is an interesting pairing. Another hot package getting ready to hit the market as Deadline is hearing. All right, described as a thriller following two women at a high-profile criminal law firm. So to say, the package is expected to hit the market in coming weeks. Demond's most recent film, Fan Play, was yeah, I liked that one quite a bit. So yeah, could be steamy. And then Kamal Nanjiani and Molly Shannon are taking driver's ed with Bobby Farrelly. Let's see. It's at the European film market, and the Farrelly brothers. Yes, okay. I don't see much about. Again, these castings I think are a bit of a mess on what you can actually expect. Then Nina Dobrev's latest to join Russell Crowe in Bear Country, and Kristen Stewart and a bunch of other people are going to star in The Wrong Girls for Neon, with Kumail Nanjiani and Lakeith Stanfield among others. Stacked cast. Okay, interesting. Seth Rogen. It's written, directed by Maya. The film follows Frankie and Molly, codependent best friends living paycheck to paycheck and bong rip to bong rip when a case of mistaken identity throws their lives into chaos. Neon will release the film in the US. Okay, that is interesting. Well, that's it for, I guess, all of the castings. Then we do have a couple of other projects that were announced, which I gotta say are a bit more exciting than, you know, just a week after week of, hey, here's another actor who's like joining a project. So let's have a look at those. Kitao Sakurai is tapped to direct a Street Fighter movie for Legendary. Yes, I think we talked about this. I thought I already talked about this, but I guess I didn't. He inherits the project from the Talk to Me directors, Danny and Michael Filippo, which, by the way, they do have a trailer that we'll take a look at later with Bring Her Home, I think. So yeah, Street Fighter movie is in the works with him to direct, and he directed Bad Trip before. Then Steven Spielberg as event movie moves to June 2026, and the Daniels next movie is temporarily unset. What's happening there? June 12th. Okay, so it just moves it back like less than a month. And then the Daniels untitled next film is up in the air. What's happening with that? Okay, then Rashida Jones is set to direct Playdate from Mary Osterbuy's Blacklist script. And what's it about? In the film, a playdate erupts into full-scale psychological warfare as two mothers confront the damage of childhood bullying while their daughters engage in mind games of their own. Okay. Then, Jay Ellis gives Top Gun free update. They're wanting to get it right. So it will take a bit more. So it's in the works as of last year in January, but no more details have been revealed just yet. Then Constantine sequel is pitched to DC Studios and ready for treatment. Is in a recent interview Keanu Reeves was talking about. I think also no, Francis Lawrence was in an interview and he was talking about it, if I remember correctly. Then James Watkins lands the directing gig for Clayface. That comes after who exited? Someone else exited the project, and yeah, this Clayface movie is back on track. Then David Leitch is prepping a bank-sized actioner at Amazon. Amazon is being busy, man. I don't know if I'm all too happy with it, but David Leitch might be in talks to direct Ocean's 14s for Warner Bros. As they confirmed last month, but he's also working on this, which, by the way, The Fall Guy, I don't think we had it in awards, but The Fall Guy ended up winning best stunt ensemble or performance or something like that, the main prize at the stunt award guilds. Kevin, shame on you for not getting that in there. It's not like he's not taking the stunt seriously, man. For the action guy, I would have hoped for more. Then Apple is in talks to land Joseph Kosinski and Jerry Bruckheimer's UFO disclosure themed movie. All right, market last week. It doesn't really say much. I mean, Kosinski is busy with F1, and I guess he's not like directly involved with another Top Gun sequel, so we'll have to wait and see on that. And then Netflix boards the feature film adaptation of Sifu, which I'm very much looking forward to. I think this has a ton of potential to be some sick action production. And Chad Stahelski, the director, or did he also direct? Well, he was just involved in everything good that happened in like major blockbusters. Chad Stahelski has been behind it, and yeah, they're working on it. So I'm looking forward to that. Then, wait, Town says aloha to a Hawaii said Goodfella. Oh, okay. This is, again, a bullshit thing. It's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson who is cast as the lead in Scorsese's next movie. Yo, Josh, this is a crazy one. So it's described as Goodfellas meets The Departed. We also got DiCaprio in there, which is crazy that he's not the lead. Then we also got Emily Blunt. And do we have any other details? Imagine Robert De Niro's Jimmy, the gent character from Goodfellas, but as a ruthless Hawaiian crime boss based on a real figure who battled encroaching rivals for control of organized crime in Hawaii. It will be written by Nick Bilton, and focuses on the turbulent time on the island paradise when an aspiring mob boss battled rival crime factions to wrest chaos, control of the underworld of the Hawaiian Islands. It was a bloody battle, the kind of terrain Scorsese covered in both Goodfellas and About It in the 1670s in Hawaii. Charismatic, dude, they just like, keep repeating themselves. It's based on untold true story. All right, okay, but it seems to be a bit more of a straight up, from the way they describe it here, it feels like a bit more of a straight up hero character. I don't know how flawed, you know, that lead is, but he's certainly picking up The Rock, that is, some interesting with the Smashing Machine, some interesting titles. I'm not convinced. It's an interesting direction that Scorsese is going in, but is what it is. And then we have one last one. Lionsgate dates Jason Statham. Oh, that's a flirt. Action thriller Mutiny. All right, what's this one about? The film follows Cole Reed, who, after seeing his billionaire industrialist boss murdered in front of him, is set to take the fall for the crime, leaving him on the run as he works to uncover an international conspiracy. What? Okay. All right. That's it for all of the new projects. Now, the big item here, the actual like main title that I made and the thumbnail for all of this is that James Bond shocker, Amazon MGM Studios takes creative control of Spy franchise as producers Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli step back. And reportedly, I think they are stepping back for $1 billion, I think was the buyout. Maybe that's one of the upcoming articles. We'll dive into that. But it's just crazy. So for a long time now, and through different sorts of family involvement, I think especially from Barbara Broccoli's side, they've held on to the rights in partnership with MGM that gave him basically like a lot of leeway for the final say in what is actually happening with the James Bond franchise, who is getting cast, what are the movies about, all of that. And after fights and fights about this, and a couple of months ago, or maybe even weeks, it was Barbara Broccoli came out and like basically it was revealed that she like called the boardroom of the creatives at Amazon Prime or at Amazon fucking idiots. And after that, it basically collapsed back in December, right? And they've not really been able to get back. And I think there were rumors about like Quentin Tarantino, Christopher Nolan, Edward Berger to like take on the baton and like continue this franchise. And with Amazon at the helm of like controlling all of this, they obviously can make spin-offs, they can introduce side characters, they can do throwbacks where they do prequels, and it's like, you know, the extended Bond, not the 00 franchise instead of the 007. I think that like in that direction we would have ultimately gone in like sooner or later, but with this, it is, you can kind of expect that maybe something along the lines of like what happened when, I think that's a comparison that everyone is making, when Lucasfilm was bought by Disney, and the amount of Star Wars stuff we got from there, like the series, every 2 years we got a movie, like that sort of stuff wouldn't be unlikely if we get that here. But that's the main headline from the, I guess, the 20th, yeah. And then Jeff Bezos went to social media, onto X and X, the everything app, and Instagram, to basically ask who the next 007 should be. And I think the responses were mainly Henry Cavill, if I'm not mistaken. I think that kind of came out of it. Let's see if they reveal it here. Other actors featured in that was include James Norton and Damon Idris, with Aaron Taylor Johnson, Theo James, Josh O'Connor, Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, Henry Cavill. Yeah, I mean, those aren't like horrible picks. I think, again, with each pick would be some sort of controversy. To be like, if I had to pick one of these, I think Idris Elba would be sick, although he's getting up in age, so he would play an older Bond. I think Theo James would be sick. I don't see Henry Cavill here. That doesn't make too much sense. Josh O'Connor for me, neither. And Tom Hardy, no. Let's not even get into that. But yeah, crowdsourcing who the next Bond will be. And then Amazon Studios shelled an extra $1 billion plus to take control of James Bond. Yeah, and we don't really know what's next for the franchise just yet. And then Barbara Broccoli's close-knit James Bond circle says hearing 007 deal news was as if there had been a death in the family. Damn, that's a dramatic way of putting it, but I mean it basically, because they were holding on to the rights for so long and were so involved with it. This is the two of them, by the way. I understand why maybe they said sentiment, because even though it is a huge franchise, there was a certain touch of like quality and care that you could definitely feel that they had to it, and it's just, I don't know, there's no precedent for me to believe that big corporation will do with IP well. It just never happens. It just never happens. So I just feel like that's going to be the same here. But yeah, that's it for the Bond news. Then let's have a quick look at the box office. Let's see. Captain America Brave New World nears 300 million global as Bridget Jones 4 jumps overseas cinemas with 70 million plus. Wow. Mufasa hits 700 million worldwide, and Neza 2 approaches 1.9 billion. That is crazy. All right, let's have a closer look. Neza 2 is on the approach here, the highest grossing animated movie ever. Damn. Meanwhile, the overseas audiences are also mad about The Girl, as Universal's fourth Bridget Jones movie is especially doing super well in the UK. Then Cap, it's a bit down in China. Dropped 60%, which for a front-loaded thing, it would be fine, but I think it is not. It didn't have a huge opening. I think it was like in the top, like bottom 7 or 6 of like the MCU. So not doing super well. UK, China, Mexico, Korea, the biggest markets. And let's see, Mad About the Boy. Yeah, like half of it comes from the UK. Crazy. And then they're also pretty mad about it down under. Paddington in Peru still making a steady money. And then yeah, Mufasa yeah, makes good money internationally. And in IMAX, it's Neza 2 is now at 131 million. That's the 9th biggest release ever, and the biggest for an animated title. That's crazy. I'm Still Here is also out in theaters. It's only out in 14 markets. Do they have anything about No Other Land? Because I think that's playing in like really limited release. No. Okay. Well, that's pretty much it when it comes to the rough box office, I guess. So we do have a couple of other news items, which I don't know what all of this is. This could be really random. And then we do have a couple more trailers and then a bunch more. So let's go through this. And by the way, also leave me like comments below if you like this new structure, or if you it is considerably less work to not write up all of the headlines for me, but obviously maybe it's a bit boring. I don't know. John Malkovich on why he rejected Marvel movies before Fantastic Four. You don't want to pay me, it's cool, but then I don't want to do it. All right. I don't really particularly care for this one, if I'm honest. All right, let's skip to the next one. Some controversy. Ali Abbasi gives his side of the Golden Globes after party grope and partying with US raps, calls it a playful slap on the rear of an actor he considered a friend. I think this was Sebastian Stan that he smacked, and then he was dropped afterwards, and I think he's saying that yeah, it was misunderstood. He immediately apologized there and then again the next day, and that him parting ways with his group was representation was actually like not something that had anything to do with that. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, this seems to me like not an apology of like, I don't know, that is like in vain or just as a stunt. So I don't know if there's much more to it other than sorry, bad mistake, won't happen again. I don't know. I think this is not the hugest deal, but again, everyone's a bit different about that. But I guess there's a bit of a double standard when it involves men, but that might be my bias. Then George Armentich dies. Actually haven't seen a movie of his, so it feels a bit wrong to I guess talk about it, but he has passed away. Then Peter Jason also, dude, enough with the death, Kevin. We don't need to have all of this death. But Deadwood actor, I know he's a huge Deadwood fan. This was a huge story that I think is quite interesting. Euphoria's Hunter Schafer says her new password misgenders her as male after Trump's anti-trans executive order. And I think she says way more than fuck this administration. I think she had a really poignant, well put together post on this, I think on Instagram and maybe even on Twitter. But yeah, that basically it is, I think she said like it's not the hugest deal for her because it's still rooted in her own identity, that even if a piece of paper doesn't acknowledge her, but she definitely sees like how it can hurt a ton of people. Let's have a look at this maybe briefly, because I think the statement is pretty interesting. Oh, from Pop Base. I'm not making this post for fearmonger or to create drama or receive consolation. I don't need it, but I do think it's worth posting to sort of note the reality of the situation, and that it's happening. I was shocked I didn't just think it was actually going to happen. I want to acknowledge my privilege not only as a celebrity trans woman who is white. I pass, and it still happened. No one, no matter how wealthy or white or pretty or whatever, is excluded. I don't give a fuck that they put an M on my password. I didn't change really anything about me or my transness. However, it does make life a little harder. I'm pretty sure it's gonna come along with having to out myself to border patrol agents much more often than I would like to, or is really necessary, and thinking about other trans women and other trans people who might be who this might be happening to. Yeah. And then I don't even want to scroll down because Twitter is a cesspool of dumbass fucking people that should maybe, I don't know, self-reflect. But I think she kind of puts this really well. So yeah, that fucking sucks. There's not much more to that. That fucking sucks, and fuck that guy and everyone who's like in support of that, because it just fucking sucks. And if you I don't know, if that's your MA, then this is not the place for you. Maybe get like movie reviews and news at another place. That's just pretty straight up of but I know most people probably aren't like that in our audience, hopefully. Then Apple's Miles Teller, Anya Taylor-Joy star the George the Gorge becomes streamer's biggest movie launch. It went so far that I think it became a bit of a hit on TikTok, so Lachlan ended up rewatching it this week with his girlfriend. So you know, it went the mile when the girlfriend over on TikTok catches wind of it. Then Netflix pledges $1 billion for Mexican films. I think Kevin also put it like Emilia Perez apology to basically I don't know, invest a bit more in Mexican cinema. I don't know if this means much of anything, or if it's probably not tied to that movie, because they kind of have to do it. Like, for example, in France, they do have to, in order to be a streamer, I think they do have to like reinvest back into the local film market. I think Switzerland just had the first series ever that released earlier this week on Netflix. I'm blanking on what it's called, but I'll report back on it once I've seen it. But yeah, that happened. IMAX SEO calls its Netflix Narnia release deal a fairly complex and not in a rush to do another one, but there was also reports of it being like potentially 8 in production. We talked a bit more about that on the podcast, actually quite extensively, for like 10 minutes, so you can catch more of my thoughts of that over there, because there's not that much more to it. It's crazy. I don't think that Greta Gerwig would do like 8 of them, but maybe Netflix does. Then Jesse Plemons says he doesn't regret gaining weight for a role, but it isn't sure if he'd do it again. It didn't mess me up a bit. He looks so great in Zero Day. So I don't remember which role he gained weight for, but it wasn't for Breaking Bad. But yeah, I mean, good on him for losing the weight again and feeling good. Pretty good. Kate Hudson regrets not making time to star in The Devil Wears Prada. That was a bad call. I, again, don't care. Bring her back. So we got the first trailer for this movie. Definitely give this one a watch. I think it looks pretty sick. Again, I don't think we're safe to watch this because A24 probably wouldn't be happy with it. but I think it's pretty well atmospherically set trailer that makes you excited for what the Philippos have in store next, and it already has a set release date for May 30th. Then Oakland in 87, Freaky Tales. Okay, this one's also out soon, and Pedro Pascal is in it. Okay, well, I'll keep this one on my radar from Lionsgate. Then The Actor on March 14th is coming out. Again, another trailer to check out. And what's this one? What? Eric LaRue?
Eric was 7. We took a trip to Leech Lake.
All right, another smaller one that I guess you can check out. I won't be looking at all of them, just to I guess not keep you for too long. But those are some trailers that might be worth checking out if you're interested. And then Kevin also linked me a bunch of like X stuff on X. So let's have a look. All right, Marvel exec Brandon Winterberg says they're now actively developing the first X-Men movie. Okay. Then James Cameron says the Avatar Fire and Ash starts with a title card that says no generative AI was used in the make. Okay, cool. I guess I wouldn't have expected that like they would be using that, but good to get that, I guess, confirmation. Then new Marvel and DC crossover comics are reportedly happening. Okay. Delroy Lindo has been cast in the third Godzilla and Kong movie. We also got Leonardo DiCaprio, who is reportedly in talks to play Evil Knievel in a biopic by Damien Chazelle. It focuses on his famous Snake River jump, and filming is set to begin this summer. Daniel Craig reacts to Amazon's James Bond takeover. He says, "My respect, admiration, and love for Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson remain constant and undiminished. Whatever ventures Barbara goes on to do, I know they will be spectacular and hope I can be a part of them." Yeah, all right. Marvel Rivals has officially crossed 40 million players. That is crazy. They also, I don't know if this is a part of it, but they also launched 2 new characters with the torch guy, flaming guy, and the thing. Then the community manager responds to after game director Thaddeus Sasser and other American devs have been laid off. A creative director is still working on the game. The team remains committed to reaching Western audiences. Okay, I suggest rather than spreading rumors and reaching conclusions, focus on what we have to deliver in a couple of days. We have prepped a really hard for the patch. Yeah, I think the reports came out that it was not on the American side, it was more on the I think Chinese side, where they had laid off people. Regardless, these layoffs for a massively successful game are like not a great vibe, I gotta say. Then kind of my line project, Bong Joon-ho teases plans for his next horror genre return 19 years later. Okay, now this I'm keen for. I just saw Mickey 17 earlier today, and Mark Ruffalo didn't really work for me in that role, I gotta say. Tony Collette a bit better, but it's just, I don't know, too much of like Trump-isms, and I don't know. I don't have the book with me right now. It's literally in my bedroom because I'm still reading it. But before I review, I will be finishing up that. But there's a lot to talk about with Mickey 17, but it was a bit underwhelming for me. But definitely for anyone who cares for any of Bong Joon-ho's movies, go give it a try. So he's returning to Korean language filmmaking, and what was it? A horror movie is the next project. Backs up previous statements from the director. A Korean film, unique elements of horror and action. That's fun. Because I think the sci-fi stuff in Mickey 17, some of it, there's an intentional look about like the washed out like look of a half-like I guess ice planet. But I don't know, something about it is just like, I don't know, something about the pacing which usually gets really right, and his movies is like, first third is pretty alrightish, not that great. Second one, amazing. The finale, it's kind of alright again, but That's one that I'll definitely revisit once I finish the novel as well. Then The Last of Us 2 sets a premiere date for April 13th on Max. I'll definitely be playing those games over on my channel Celluloider, which I don't know, maybe I'll link it below, maybe it is linked below. I will also be playing this week a couple of games from the Steam Next games, as like that demo is currently happening. Then Shogun 1980 series director Shogun 1980 series director calls out the new effects show. Says it's not entertaining for American audiences, only won Emmys because there was no competition. Okay, okay, so the old one, okay, he's talking shit. Okay, cool. Cool for you. Good for you. An Extraction spin-off series in the works over at Netflix. Omar Sy will star in the lead role. I think he's been doing a lot of series, but not... Yeah. I don't know. Then first look at Alexander Skarsgård in Murderbot. The series follows a self-hacking security robot who must hide its free will and complete a dangerous assignment while just wanting to be left alone. That's premiering over on Apple TV Plus on May 16th, so it means probably no one will see it other than me. A new Avatar: The Last Airbender sequel series called Avatar 7 Havens is in the works over at Nickelodeon. It will consist of 26 half-hour episodes over 2 seasons, and it follows earthbending twins after a world-shattering disaster where one discovers she's the new Avatar after Korra. This is exciting. We also talked about this on the podcast. I really liked the first original series. Lachlan urged me to also watch Korra, so I've seen that as well. And I think we also talked about like the setup of like twins, where one of them is a chosen one, the other one's not. There's a lot of like things that you could play with, that one of them becomes evil, one of them is constantly mistaken for it and has to be saved. I don't know, there's a bunch of like things that you can do with this, so quite exciting. Then first look at Shtick, a new comedy series starring Owen Wilson, Judy Greer, Timothy Olyphant, and Mark Maron. The series follows a former pro golfer facing divorce and unemployment who trains a gifted golfer, and it premieres also on Apple TV Plus on June 4th. And we got a couple of pictures alongside it as well. Okay, looking smooth. Then a new trailer for Dune. For the Dune open world MMO game is out, and I think what I just got today in my inbox was from Steam. I got like an email about, I don't know if I can leak any of this. No, it should be fine. I got like this, a demo Dune Awakening character creator and benchmark mode. This is available, so I guess I can check that out. But a lot of stuff that is coming out on I guess this next Steam Next Fest. I'm looking forward to like checking out some stuff. Conan O'Brien and the Oscar statue have a marital fallout in the first trailer for the 2025 Oscars. It's airing on March 2nd and will be actually, let's give this one a watch. I'm interested to see what they got cooking here.
When we first met, all we did was laugh. When was the last time you laughed at something I said? Other award statues think I'm funny. You're using all the outlets. How am I supposed to charge
golden?
my laptop? You don't like our kitchen?
I think getting Conan is such a win for the Oscars. Makes me low-key quite excited to watch them.
And picked out this marble. Who's Linda? Is she from work? You two seem pretty chummy. She sent you 3 eggplant emojis. It's like you want to get caught. Seriously? Leftovers again? What happened to us? I'm sorry I'm not an iconic...
I got the vibe. But yeah, we'll be live reacting to the Oscars as they're happening, so we'll do a watch party. Join our Discord. We'll be streaming it there, and you can watch alongside us. We'll maybe even play a drinking game. And again, link below is the prediction contest that you can be a part of, and you can win a year of Letterboxd Pro. Or you can also, if you already got Letterboxd Pro, then you can make all 4 of us watch a movie together and then review that on the channel. of your own choosing. Then Will Smith confirms I Am Legend 2 is now moving forward. Me and Michael B. Jordan have sat down for about a week and went through character stuff. Again, that comes from the XQC Twitch stream. First look at Mimi Cave's Holland, starring Nicole Kidman and Matthew McFadden. The thriller follows a woman in a Midwestern town who suspects her husband is living a double life, but she soon unravels a twisted tale, and that one comes out on Prime Video on March 27th. Okay, got the first look over here. Then the first trailer for Dope Thief, which I do have screeners for. So this comes out March 14th, so hopefully I'll have time to watch this, and we will have a review for it on the channel. But it follows two men who pose as DEA agents and rob a house that is a major cover for a large narcotics operation, and Ridley Scott is directing the pilot. That doesn't really say much, but Brian Tyree Henry and Wagner Moura are always two great actors to follow. So again, I do already have the screeners. I've had them for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I definitely got to get around to watching that to tell you if it's actually worth checking out. And that is it. That's all the news, but there's a couple of things to quickly take a look at. Again, I also didn't prep this a lot, so we'll just like kind of wing it. How about we wing this one real quick? So let's have a look at, like, you know, the upcoming releases of the week. So I got one here over at Flix Patrol, which basically gives you an overview of, sometimes it's also wrong, but it also includes TV shows. I just got the screeners for Running Point, that Kate Hudson show, and then there's not that much else that releases. Basically, I guess we got 4 days until the 28th, so like about until the 3rd is when the end of the week. So there's not really much coming out, right, series-wise, other than continuing shows like Succession, yeah, I wish, Severance. And then when it comes to the streamer side, which I do really love to use, this is called When to Stream. We get a lot of information from here, which you can also see, like, where stuff is streaming. For example, The Brutalist, it's on VOD, but also if it's on streaming, it will tell you here on SWOD and all of that, so it's quite useful. But yeah, we have a bunch of titles that have just hit streaming like last week, but for this week, tomorrow on Tuesday, Love Hurts, which was a bit underwhelming, comes out. Presence, we'll be checking that one out tomorrow. The new Steven Soderbergh movie, A Complete Unknown, just picking up another win for Timothée Chalamet at the SAGs. La Cucina was also okay. September 5, getting that Indie Spirit Award for best editing. It's not nominated for an Oscar that way, but it is for best screenplay, and I think it's very worthwhile checking out. Sugarcane is also one that I think is already, yeah, it's now streaming, or already was streaming on Hulu and now available on VOD. That is one of the documentary nominees. It's worth checking out, and I'm not even going to address this one. I haven't seen this one. And then Nickel Boys, finally some people will have a chance to watch that one. I think that's probably going to be the least watched Best Picture nominee, but it's among one of the best. Strange Darling, another underrated film that definitely is worth checking out. And then finally for this week, Rumors, which is a bit of a strange one. It's from Guy Madden, but has a pretty stacked cast with Cate Blanchett, Alicia Vikander, and, well, I guess these two are like, but it's a weird vibe with like a horror comedy, but if you're in for it, it's pretty funny. Then this is the Swiss release day schedule. This week we got The Monkey, but we also got Attack on Titan, The Last Attack. We also got a Complete Unknown, which finally releases here. Flight Risk also finally arrives here. And then Helden, I can very much recommend. Again, we'll have the interview with the director coming up later this week. And then in the States, there's really nothing. It's crazy how much there's nothing. I heard good things about My Dead Friend Zoe, but again, that's Briarcliff. That's only in limited release. Other than that, I don't know why The Gorge is up here. I guess they're doing like some limited engagements for it, but look at this too. Like, there's, okay, so there's this Last Breath, which I don't even know, based on the 2019 documentary by the same name. Follows deep sea divers final rescue mission. I feel like we get movies like this every now and then, and they just like, they get completely ignored. I probably have seen a trailer for this, but I forgot about it. Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu. Can't say that this one is going to be talked about a bunch. And then we got a Gundam movie, and that's pretty much it. You know, I don't, any of these other don't ring a bell, so it's crazy. I've heard about this one, but I don't know if it's any good. But we are waiting for Mickey 17, which on the channel we'll be reviewing a bunch of the Bong Joon-ho movies. So if you want to get a bit of a refresher before that movie comes out, definitely worth checking out and then jumping into those reviews and letting us know what you thought about them. I think Bong Joon-ho is a great filmography, and that's it though when it comes to like the releases here. But what we'll do now is vote in the prediction thing over here. Let's see, let me get it up, which you can get by going over to the stream. It will be like the first thing linked below. You can just see it here and jump onto it, and then you'll basically use this. Let me show you. Like, put in your Letterboxd or Discord username, and we'll know how to reach you, and then you can fill this one out. And again, if you end up winning, you get a year of Letterboxd Pro. Don't ignore my cringy Gmail address. Okay, so let's go from the bottom up. I haven't seen, I'm still not done with watching all of them, so we'll go through them briefly. Again, you can take your time. I think you can, even after you submit it, you might be even able to still adjust it, but we need you to submit it before I guess the Oscars start. That's as simple as that. All right, for best visual effects, I do think that maybe Wicked wins, but I think the most deserving would be Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes or Better Man. Dune 2 also has great. I'm gonna go with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I think that one's great. Best film editing. It's always, you know, what should win and what will win. With Conclave picking up a bunch of awards, it wouldn't be the unlikeliest that it gets that, but it could also be the dude. This award season is crazy, so I'll just, like, I don't know, I just have to choose something without too much second thought. Conclave have been getting a bunch of wins. I guess I'll just give it. Although it's a really boring choice. It would be crazy if it went to Emilia Perez, but I think that one is not getting anything besides maybe song and supporting actress. No, I'm gonna stick with Conclave. I don't know if that makes any sense. Then best costume design, I think, is going to go to Wicked. Best makeup and hairstyling, I would love to see A Different Man win, but I think it will probably be The Substance. That would be fun. I don't know if it actually has a shot. I'll just go with that. Best cinematography, again, Maria just won at the Cinematography Guild Award. I think they could go with something like The Brutalist here. I could definitely see that. I don't know if there's any precursors. I could be so wrong, but I'm also happy to be so wrong. Best production design, I don't know. I'll also go with Wicked. Best sound, which one has the most sound? Complete Unknown maybe has the most sound, although Dune would deserve it. I'll go with Dune. I have no clue if, like, the Oscar expert is, like, quietly, like, having a silent scream of slow death that he's letting out for me being so wrong about my choices. I have no clue. I'll just go with the first one. Original score, it would be great if The Brutalist wins. I think it's the best one in here. Then best animated short, again, I haven't seen any of those, so I think I don't know if I can leave them blank, but I'll just, like, go with. I still have to watch them. I have seen this one. I also interviewed the director, which, again, the interview is still not up on the channel. Shame. I'll just go with the one at the bottom each time. That's my strategy. Then I would love for Black Box Tires to win, but I think it is No Other Lands to lose. International film, it is, you know, it is between I'm Still Here and Emilia Perez, but the Flow winning Any Spirit is kind of fun, but I think it's going to go to I'm Still Here. It could very much still go to Emilia Perez. Just, yeah. You never know. Go Off the Needle would also be a really solid other choice. Best animated feature, I think they'll still go with The Wild Robot. Although it could be Flow that wins. Best adapted screenplay. It's crazy that Dune isn't in here. I think that would have been such a great choice. Because for original, I think A Real Pain has a really good shot at winning for the amount of stuff that it's been winning recently. And I don't know if, like, for Best Picture, especially this year, you do need editing or screenplay award. I guess it's more editing and director that is tied to Best Picture, but also not always. But I will go with Best Adapted Screenplay. Maybe it's just the recent hype for Conclave. It would be fun if Sing Sing wins. Maybe that's just like really out there, but maybe I'm just rooting for it. So I'll pick that one. I'll pick Sing Sing, which would be an outlier for like A Real Pain and Sing Sing, both not Best Picture winners, win for screenplay. Yeah, I'm going with that. I like that narrative. Then Soy Saldana. This is a really weak nomination lineup, I gotta say. Kieran Culkin, of course, is gonna win here. Best Actress really is these bottom three. Can Fernanda Torres pull the upset? I don't think she can, because Demi Moore has been picking up a lot of steam. But will it still? I think it will still go to Mikey Madison, but this one is really close. It could be all three of them. Best Actor, does Timothée Chalamet win? Actually no, I'm gonna go with Demi Moore. I think it's I think it's Demi Moore, but here I'm going to still go with Adrian Brody. I think the Timothée Chalamet one was something for the SAG audience. I think for the Oscars they still will go with Adrian Brody, even though SAG is the largest part of the voting body for the actual Oscars, which that deadline already came in before we now. I think the voting closed last week on Wednesday or Tuesday, and the award ceremony was held for SAG on Sunday, right? So, and Timothy won there. This one, another tough one. I think Best Actress and Best Actor are pretty much a toss-up. And then for Best Director, I think it is Brady Corbet. I don't see Sean Baker. Maybe. I don't think these other three have a shot. It would be crazy if James Mangold ends up winning and completely unknown his way closer to picture than we thought. And then the last one here, Best Picture. Dude, Conclave has been winning. Anora has been winning. The Brutalist hasn't been winning. A Complete Unknown, I think, is even closer than The Brutalist at this point. I'm just gonna still stick to my guns that Anora will win. But I think it's like from here on up, it could be all four of these. It could be. But I'm just gonna stick with Anora, which means that I think Anora only wins picture, which doesn't make any sense, right? Wait, what did I have for editing? Yeah, no, that makes no sense. Okay. I'm gonna stick with it. Nora wins Best Picture and nothing else. That would be pretty crazy. But that's what I go with. So you can find that link below as well if you want to participate. And again, we'll reveal the winners. If you want a year of Letterboxd Pro, then you can get that. But also if you just want to make us watch a movie and pick one for us, you are invited to do so. But this year is going to be a bit of a tougher one, I guess, to predict. Let me know what you thought of like this week's change up of just like casually going for the news, or do you prefer the headlines? Check out the podcast. We got a new one about the monkey that is out, and all of these bigger news items we couldn't hold back and also discuss them on the podcast. And I have a bunch of reviews for the third season of Reacher. We also got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I thought was pretty good. I also watched the first Neza movie. Didn't really vibe with it too much, but we also covered that on the show. And then Lachlan rewatched The Gorge for some reason, which I guess the reason was his girlfriend, because she wanted to watch it. All of that, go check out the podcast. It was a great episode. I did have a bit of a weird lighting setup. This one's better now, but thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Actually, no, not next week. Later this week, we'll have also a Berlinale recap. We have an interview with the director of Helding coming up. There's a lot coming to the channel this week. We also got some Bong Joon-ho retrospective stuff. What's up, Kevin? Thanks again. Hey, he's joining in late. I hope you enjoyed your watch of Invincible. But yeah, I like this approach of, you know, a bit more interaction. There weren't really any people in chat today, but it would have been sick to get a bit of interaction and basically go through the news a bit slower. I feel like I'm stumbling over myself, just like yapping about this headline, this headline, this headline, and we did have a bit of a time to like take it in now. But thanks so much for watching. Again, go check out some other stuff on the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe, leave a like, become a member if you want to support us further, and I will see you at the latest next week again on Monday. All right, bye bye, have a good one, bye.